Good morning, everybody. My name is Andres Morales, and I'm a local real estate broker in the state of California. Today, I wanted to share with you on how to become an REO agent. So as you're well aware, we've had restrictions, moratoriums, foreclosures, and evictions moratoriums throughout the state of California for the last 12 months. Nevertheless, there is a huge wave of REO or foreclosures business coming our way. So it's very important more than ever to make sure that you know exactly what you need to do in order to get into these banks. Now, I've been an REO agent probably now for about 10 years, and I struggled somewhat throughout that time because I did not know what to do. Many people within the business or within the REO community are very shy about sharing information on how to become an REO agent. So today I wanted to kind of share with you the steps that I took in order to become or get approved with an REO company, and what is it that you need to do throughout the process to make sure that you maintain that REO, and what certifications to get, what programs, softwares, so on and so forth. So let's get ready with our presentation. So in order for you to become a real estate REO agent, you must have a real estate license or be a real estate broker, or be sponsored by a real estate broker. Within the state of California, as you're aware, you have to have a broker and then a real estate agent. And most companies won't accept you unless you're under a company or you have a company license or you have a broker's license that's sponsoring you to become an REO agent. You must be insured. So before you start making applications to these banks, you have to make sure you have E&O insurance, general liability insurance, workers' compensation insurance, and car insurance. And all the insurance must have the bank or the asset management company as a certificate or holder for these specific accounts. And that's very simple. Once you submit the applications for these insurance companies, make sure that if you're working with an REO bank, they're going to give you that information. So once you get approved, then you have to make sure you update those insurances, but the insurances have to be completed prior to submitting those applications. One powerful way to become an REO agent is making sure that you become a minority or a veteran or an SBO certified business. There's a couple of ways that you can do this, or there's multiple certifications that you can do this. So the importance of becoming a minority is that a lot of these agencies, if they receive any type of federal funding or they're part of the government, such as FHA REO, Fannie Mae REO, Freddie Mac REO, the VA, or even the larger banks, they need to make sure that they set aside a specific number of contracts or business to minority-owned businesses in order for them to stay in compliance. So it's very important that you get a minority certifications in order for you to be able to get ahead of the line when they are approving REO agents. So one of the most important ones is the MBE, is Minority Business, Minority Business Council, I believe it is. I'll show you the MBE certification in a minute. The Veterans certification, if you're a veteran, or if you're a disabled veteran, make sure you get the disabled veteran. And I have posted the links for each one of those websites where you can actually go and start the process. The Small Business Administration, which is one of them. And then within the Small Business Administration, there's a couple of different other certifications that you can do. That 8A Small Business Certification. You could do the Woman-Owned Small Business Certification. You could do the HubZone Small Business Certification. And I'll go a little bit more detail what each of these certifications imply. You need to, once you get certified, you have your insurance, then you need to find the lenders that you want to work with or the asset management companies. A great source of information for these lenders where you can get phone numbers, emails, addresses, anything you may need. There's a website called the Lane Guide, and the Lane Guide offers you this information. So when I first started, I went through the process. I got licensed. I became insured. I got my certifications, and then I started applying for these banks. And I got the information and the contact information for these banks through the Lane Guide. And what the Lane Guide allows you to do is you are able to contact all these lenders. And what I did is I was submitting like 20 to 50 applications on a monthly basis until I finally got one approved. So you have to put in the work. Once you have all this information, you start applying for some of these banks. You also, it's also highly recommended for you to apply to Fannie Mae. And I put the link on here as far as where is exactly where you need to go apply. These are for any Fannie Mae homes. As you know, they're the largest secondary market insurer or mortgage company. Then you have Freddie Mac. You have FHA and then the VA. And I have all these links here where you can join their network and you can actually apply. There's going to be tons of business. So my recommendation is if you follow these steps, I'm sure you'll get some kind of assignment. And that way you can grow your business and making this one leg of your business. Some of the other programs that you should add in order to help you manage once you get approved and you start getting these assets. Many of the asset companies or asset management companies or the banks will have their own platform that they can use, that you could use. My recommendation is also add a secondary platform such as Realty Pilot, which is going to help you keep track of expenses. The reason being is that these banks, once you're approved, they're going to require for you to pay for the utilities and the maintenance of the properties. If there's any work that needs to be done, any contractors, any taxes, things of that nature, you're going to have to come out of pocket to pay these items, and then the asset management or the bank or whatever it is you're working with, whoever the company is, they're going to reimburse you for that money. And Realty Pilot has a great platform where you can actually keep track of everything and keep all the contact information. It's a really good system. You need to have enough savings, like I just spoke, in order to be responsible to cover the utilities and any expenses that arise. Generally, it's recommended to have at least $5,000 to $10,000 per property. But you could probably get away with $5,000 to $10,000 as a total. Just make sure that you're aware that you're going to need these funds in order to maintain the company, the account. Also become a member of REO Mac and Equator. So REO Mac is a organization that is focused just on the REO industry, which has a lot of great information and tools and guidance. They have webinars, education, seminars, everything that you could want as far as the industry is concerned. And my recommendation is try to become a member now, because what happened back in 2008, a lot of the agents waited till the last minute, and then everybody signed up and they were not taking any additional members. So that's bad, because a lot of these banks, they want you to be associated with some of these organizations. And then Equator is another good platform for you to be able to log in and get some exposures with asset management. Once you are logged into these organizations or to different platforms, make sure that you're always advertised as if you were an REO agent. You cannot advertise as you advertise into a regular seller or a short seller or your network. You have to advertise as an REO agent, meaning you have to put in your minority certifications, if you do cash for keys, short sales, REOs, you have to make sure your bio represents that you are working on the REO industry. So that's very important. And then finally, it's always get educated, get more information, get out there, get associated, network, anything that you can find associated with REO business. You can get some certifications such as the SFR with the realtors, the ePro is also recommended, the short sale, the short sale certification. And then Equator has other certifications that you can add on there. So my recommendation is get those certifications, get added on there. To go back on some of these websites as far as, let me just get out of here. Okay, so as far as the certification for minority programs, which is very important. So the SBA Small Business Administration is going to have multiple programs. It's going to have the woman-owned small business. That's a great certification because, if you're a husband and wife team and the wife is part of the corporation, my recommendation is make her at least 51% owner. And no matter what the race the female is, then she would be considered a minority because she's a woman. So this is a great program for someone who has that status. And you could circumvent a lot. For example, if you're a husband and wife, and then maybe your husband is Caucasian, then the wife is considered a minority. So this is your route to be able to get with a minority certification for your business. Serve a disabled veteran owned small business. If you suffered some type of disability while you were in the service, this is a great certification to have because again, it's going to get you in the door regardless of your race or gender. So that kind of diminishes the barriers to entry for some of these programs. The 8-8 Small Business Administration program, that's one of the better ones. If you can get that one, that would be excellent because then, you have some maybe 60 to 80% guaranteed that you might be accepted by these banks. Because again, they need to allocate a lot of these funds to small businesses or minority businesses. So it's very important. In order to complete that certification, you're going to require a lot of documentation. So make sure that you get the list prior to, have everything ready and submit it in. The other two that I recommend, or the other one I recommend, would be the Hub Zone program, and that really depends on the location of or the location of your office. So let's say, I live in Orange County, California. Some of the areas will probably be like Santa Ana, some areas in Riverside. And then what you can do is you can go to the Hub Zone website and it'll tell you what areas will qualify for this Hub Zone certification. And that one's a great one as well because it kind of, gets really in there as far as location is concerned. Very surgical approach to what the banks may need, and you definitely will fall to the top of the line if you need to. They're going to approve anybody within the list of agents. So this is the website for the VA certification. You could apply for the disabled veteran or the veteran certification. So this is a great website. I personally have the certification, and it's been really good to me. I've been able to utilize it, being able to get some contracts, been able to get my foot in the door, which is very helpful, and it's an additional leg to my business. So it's great. The small business, this is another one, the small business for the state. So if you're in the state of California, many states have certifications like this, but if you're in the state of California, you can go to the DGS website and apply for a small business certification. This is another good one if you're incorporated. For the VA assets are managed by Vendor Resource Management. So this is a great website for you to go and apply for these REO assignments as well. Then also we have the Lane Guide, which is the directory for asset management companies and banks. So on this, there's a cost. I think it's about $150. But once you get that for a whole year, download those lists and just start mailing and sending packages out, as many as you can, because the law of averages is going to kick in and someone's going to either like what you're offering, they're going to see that you have all these certifications, and you're going to get approved. So this is a good route. It's a lot of work that requires to go in there, but once you get in there, once you get into one account and you work them properly, it's going to be an account it's going to last you for a long time, and it's going to be an additional source of business if you are working your other sources of business. And then the Realty Pilot website, this is the Realty Pilot. So they have the asset management account here, back office as well, and then the offer management runway. These are three different offers that they have, but all three are really good. And my recommendation is check them out to see if this is something that might help you in the business, even in your regular business as well. And then finally, let me just get in here. So we have the MBE certification. So this is for the MBE certification, and this is the National Minority Supplier Development Council. And this is a great certification to have as well, just because a lot of these banks look for this type of minority, and minority could be anywhere who is African American, Latino, Asian American, who is a woman. And so these will be the ones that would cover you through here. And my recommendation is look at the list. The application for this one's a couple $100. The process takes about 90 days, but it's a really good certification to have, even if you're not in real estate. So if you have, for example, other type of businesses, this would be a good certification to have if you're applying to different companies. But on the real estate aspect of it, it's going to set you aside from the rest of the applicants that are on board. And that's it. I hope you'll like this information. If you have any questions or if you have any comments or anything that can help you, please comment below. I'm going to put all these links and everything on the comment section so you have some resources. And I wish you best of luck. You know, right now there's a wave of foreclosures and REOs that are coming. And you have to start preparing now. So once the wave comes in, you're in line to getting in that business. And thank you for your time and have a great day. Bye.